So welcome back to our CWS seminar. It's the first one of this new year. Thank you very much for coming to our seminar. And today it's our honor to have Professor Xiaochang Wang. He's giving us a talk about the building water-wise cities, principles and practice. And Professor Xiaochang Wang, he's got excellent track record. He published more than 300 publications with citation over 18,000 citations and with the H index 62. That's very impressive. So he previously worked as the professor at the Xi'an University of Architecture and Technology, and he also he served as the university vice president from 2003 to 2014. Now he's currently work as the IWA board and the director of the IWAP board. And then it's our honor for having him today to give us the very first seminar. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for your kind introduction. I'm very happy to come to Exeter the second time. So actually, last year, I planned to come here for the 25 years anniversary. Okay, unfortunately, I got some problem at home. I couldn't come. So anyway, I have to thank David and also Wang, yeah, because I clearly remembered our first meet in Xi'an. Okay, yeah. So we did very good seminar over there. Okay, yeah. So I have to thank for you to invite me to come here again. So really, this morning, when I walked from the Wang hotel near the station, so up the hill to your beautiful campus, yeah, I really like it. Yeah, so that's one of the best university campuses, yeah, I have to say. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for your kind invitation. So actually, so for David and Wang, my topic was not new. Okay, yeah, so I clearly remembered. So that's 6 years ago. Yeah, so we held mutual seminars in Xi'an. Okay, so at the time, David, Wang, and some other guests gave us very good lectures, yeah, for communication. And so actually, so my background was mainly for water and wastewater treatment. So anyway, fortunately, from more than 10 years ago, so within IWA, International Water Association, I was involved in the Cities of the Future program and did something both for IWA and also in China. Okay, so anyway, so this time, so when both Wang and Albert invited me, okay, so I considered, what should I talk? Yeah, because I understand, so you are working for water systems, okay? So maybe it's better, for me to choose such a topic, because in past years, when I was in China, we did a number of things related to water systems. So I think it may be better for me to exchange my idea, so with all of you. So the title of my presentation is Building Water-Wise Cities, Principles and Practice. Okay, so actually, because I have to use about 1 minute to introduce what about my relationship with International Water Association. So maybe you heard that several years ago, IWA, International Water Association, faced some problem in China. Okay, so they have a very big China office, but forced to close. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, for both political and some other reasons. So as a former professor in Xi'an University of Architecture and Technology, and also a board member of IWA, so I talked, yeah, especially color, okay? So the managing director of IWA. So if you need, so I can help IWA to continue the relationship of the International Association with the Chinese water communities. Yeah, because, so now China is the largest country with the number of memberships. Yeah, more than 1,000 members of IWA in China. Yeah. So therefore, so between IWA and my former university, so we built collaborative relationship, okay, and celebrated Cities of the Future Research Center, okay? So this center is within my former university, but we are doing many things together with IWA. Yeah, for example, so this center established based on MOU between IWA and my former university, so that's important. And also, so this center, so I say two purposes. So one is for academic and technological communication between China and IWA, and also, so maybe more importantly, to IWA as a local hub of IWA in China. Yeah, because we are in a university, we have sufficient reason to collaborate with IWA to do a number of things. Okay, so therefore I mention here the center is viewed as a presence of IWA nowadays in China. Okay, and also, so partially we are perform the function of the IWA office. Yeah, not openly. Yeah, but actually, so we are perform the function of IWA office in China. Yeah, for example, for membership and some activities. Okay, yeah, because today I'm here. Okay, so maybe for David and Guangtao, so even we know each other for so many years, I didn't tell you, so this is a story. Okay, so anyway, so I believe, so that's important. So not only for China, for my former university, and also for myself. Okay, so before I introduce something to all of you, so I'd like to say something about the Cities of the Future program of IWA. So actually, so this program, it was launched more than 15 years ago. Fortunately, I was the first batch of member for this program. So therefore, from that time, my research direction partially moved from treatment to systems. Yeah, so that may be a good chance for me to build relationship with exit. Okay, so that's a reason. So I remembered, so in the year of 2018, yeah, okay. So David and Guangtao was visited our university, so we did very good mutual seminars, on the topic related to cities of the future. it's not necessary for me to explain this in detail. For example, the urgent needs for studying for cities of the future. Okay, so I believe in your center, so many people are doing similar jobs. Okay, so our objective is to integrate water management planning and operation, so with other city services to meet the new needs for urban development. Okay, so I don't want to introduce this in detail. So anyway, so this is one job. So I participated in IWA. So you know the IWA principles for water-wise cities. Okay, so this was launched in 2016 I remember, Brisbane. Yeah. So we launched this principle. So this figure, is an outline of the principle. Okay, so we say it includes 5 building blocks and 4 levels of actions. Okay, so I don't want to use much time to explain this, but just to go through this quickly. Okay, for cities of the future, so we need a common vision. Okay, so we need governance, from the institutional aspect and also policies. So of course, we need knowledge and capacity, including existing one and new ones. Of course, we need tools for planning and implementation. Okay, so anyway, so I think on the IWA website, it's very easy. You find the detail of the principles. I don't want to use time to explain these in detail. So in terms of 4 levels of actions, so it includes regenerative water services, okay, water-sensitive urban design. For this topic, the Australian, so they have done a lot, okay? And also basin-connected cities, because the cities is not an independent area, okay? It is closely related to water basins. And more importantly, we need the effort of water-wise communities. So among these actions, what I like best was the idea of basin-connected cities. Because from the water basin, so we try to get water to secure our resource. So we need a basin to protect our water quality, okay? And we need the basin to prepare for extreme events, especially flooding, okay? So that's a topic in many countries and areas, So I don't want to go through this in detail. So in terms of basin-connected cities, so which I like the best, okay? So I think our rationale is and should be cities are within basins, okay? So that's a basic idea of our consideration, okay? So as each city is within a basin, no matter, so it is only the surface water basin or the underground water resources related to one basin area. So we have to consider the water cycle, okay? Because no matter for surface water or groundwater, all the water resources are within a basin. So you understand for one basin, there is always what we say a water cycle or hydraulic cycle. Okay, so that's very important. So therefore, one thing, so I don't want to use time to explain our basic consideration, but in principle, we think due to the natural water cycle or hydrological cycle, so we get water resources everywhere in this world. Okay? So we have to consider what's a function of the natural water cycle. Okay? Yeah, from the viewpoint of systems, so I want to point out. So the nature of a hydrological cycle is driven by solar energy. Okay? Yeah, it was there. So even in ancient time, there was a water cycle. Okay, so for sure, the only force utilized was the solar energy, natural resource. Okay? The second, so such a system, if we try to analyze, we say it is always under a condition what we call dynamic equilibrium. Okay, so that's important. That's also the essence for us to study a water cycle. So that's my basic consideration. So therefore, following this consideration, so many years ago, so we tried to study and proposed an idea of water cycle management. So I can summarize the principles like this, 2 points. Okay? So if we try to follow the nature's example, what shall we do? So I'd like to say 2 important points. The firstly, so we should try to maintain the hydrological cycle as it is, as far as possible. Okay? So maybe you heard from many years ago in China, so they say they will build a sponge city. Okay? So I always say the essence is, so try to maintain the hydrological cycle as it is. That is the principle. Okay? And the second one, of course, for our human beings, we have to do something by engineering. But I believe the principle is we should follow the nature's manner in system design and technology selection and integration. Okay? Yeah. So that's my basic consideration. Okay, so up to here, yeah, because I don't want to use a longer time to explain the basic consideration, but I come back to one case study. Okay, and so actually I remembered in 2018, okay, David and Wang visited Xi'an. Okay, so with a number of people from the UK. So we held a seminar. So the topic was related to water management. Okay, so at that time, I introduced our idea about water cycle management for urban water cycle. Okay, so here, so I'd like to introduce this case. So that's an application of the principle of water cycle management in one city. So maybe I saw, so there's some people of Chinese faces, okay? So I believe you know, so the city of Xi'an, so that's ancient capital city, okay? So historically, so we say, Xi'an was a water city, okay? Yeah, because what we say, 8 rivers surrounding the capital. Yeah, because Xi'an was a capital city, yeah, from about 2,000 years ago. Okay, it was with plenty of water. Okay, you can see the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 water channels surrounding the capital city. So therefore we say 8 rivers surrounding the capital. Okay. So anyway, as in the whole world, in many places, so we had water in the ancient time, but now the water disappeared or much decreased. Yeah. So the historical beauty of a water city for our city of Xi'an disappeared. So many due to 3 reasons. So one is, we always say, climate change. Okay? So actually, I don't like always to complain climate change. So that may be one reason, but we cannot always blame the God. Okay? The second, so increasing abstraction of water from river. So that's one thing happened, yeah, frequently in different cities in China. And also unreasonable application of the river channel. Okay, so I believe there's 3 main reasons. So anyway, population increase, so maybe the major reason. Yeah, for example, so sometimes when I talk about Xi'an, I said about 2,000 years ago, the total population in the peak time was about 1 million. Okay, so people told me unbelievable, impossible, but that was true. Okay, for the ancient Xi'an city, 1 million. But nowadays, so one saying is 9 million, but maybe more. Yeah, maybe 10 million. So that may be the main reason. Okay? So therefore, yeah, from more than 10 years ago, so the urban government, municipality decided to do one huge project. So they say 8 river regeneration. Okay? So they decided to try to recover the ancient water beauty of that city. Okay? Yeah, of course I have to say, so that's a huge task. Okay, so there's a general plan of the project. Okay, so you can see, so there's the urban area or municipality area of our city. Of course, the central city is just over there, and we have many suburban districts. So you can see each district, yeah, belongs to different basin, yeah, of branch rivers. Okay. So therefore, yeah, from the beginning of 2010, so Xi'an decided to recover what we say, the ancient beauty of water city. Okay, so in English we say 8 river regeneration project. Okay, so I will briefly introduce the general project plan. Okay, the first work is to rehabilitate 8 plus 2 river channels. Okay, so here from number 1 to number 8, so that's ancient a river water channel, but there are other two added to the water system. Okay, so one is the source water for urban water supply to Xi'an city. Okay, so unfortunately, so that was not sufficient. So therefore, afterwards, they decided to build a water transfer channel from the southern part of the mountain to the north for the provision of sufficient water sources to Xi'an as a large city. Okay, the second part of the project is the rehabilitation of ancient moats. If you travel to China, so you understand that for ancient Chinese cities, so each castle was surrounded by the moat. Okay, so for two purposes. So one is for maybe for make the city more beautiful. The second is for the protection of the city. Okay, so we say, so there's a moat, ancient moat. So there are two, So one, this one is very famous. Okay, it is surrounding the whole ancient city of Xi'an. Still there. Okay, so another one is restored from the north and the south of the ancient ruin of the moat in Han Dynasty. Okay, so that one was not as perfect as this one, but also very important for the beauty of this city. Another part was to restore urban lakes. Because in the ancient time, so there are many lakes in this city. Okay, of course, for a long period of time, water disappeared. Okay, but we still have the site. So the lower terrace to hold water. Okay, so therefore, the number 3 is to restore urban lakes. Okay, and the number 4 is a wetland construction for all the area adjacent to rivers. So that's also very important. Okay, for example, in terms of the large wetlands we recovered. Okay, so that distributed surrounding the whole city. Okay, so anyway, so from the beginning, our city faced the restriction. So you understand, shortage of water. Okay, so we say in the ancient time, all these lakes or rivers existed and with plenty of water. But now, so due to different reasons, okay, of course, we always complain about the God. Okay, so the natural precipitation decreased. Okay, so there's no continuous flow in river channels. Okay, and the lakes and the ponds disappeared. Okay, so anyway, as a conclusion, so current water shortage is a critical bottleneck for this project. Okay, so therefore there came the need for formulating an integrated water management plan to optimize utilization of all applicable water sources. Fortunately, from about 20 years ago, I was appointed the advisor for the municipal government, especially for water. So therefore, from the beginning, I was involved in many discussions, so even some plan for this project. So now I felt very comfortable about my small contribution to this project. Okay, so this graph was drawn by myself. Okay, it shows my basic consideration. So how to get a water resource, to enlarge water resource, following what I talked here, water cycle management principle. Okay, so we understand, so there should be two important elements. So one is the natural element. Okay, so the natural water available there. Another is engineering elements. For urban development from ancient time, we did a lot to build dams, rivers, river channels, or other aquatic architecture for the city. Okay, so therefore, I wanted to put all of them into one system to consider how to connect them together to make an integrated system with both natural and artificial parts. Okay, so that's my basic consideration. So therefore, I call this a quasi-natural water cycle. Okay, so including many measures. For example, water saving is always a topic for one city. Okay, the second, as a water resource is limited for such a huge city, so with different water channels, ponds, lakes. Okay, so we have to consider multifunctional or cascading water use. So number three, of course, rainwater harvesting is also very important, because we can have the lakes and the ponds so that can store water. And number four, important, water reclamation. So I call these four pillars to support such an integrated water system and its management. So that's my basic consideration. So therefore, here I introduce a little bit about our engineering plan for source enlargement. So one is water resource. So actually, after I got my degree from Japan and went back to China, so one job I did was mainly for wastewater treatment and reuse. Okay? So therefore, the first idea in my mind was water reuse. Okay? The second, rainwater use. Okay? To use the rainwater as far as possible. And then number three, so we say stream flow regulation. Okay? So it means by building canals, pipelines. Okay? So we try to connect all these water bodies, including natural streams, into one system, to make the flow path longer. Okay, so that's our idea. And the number four, cascading water use. Okay, so that means, so due to the geographic feature of our city, okay, so we have water in the upstream and some water body in the downstream side. Okay, so therefore, so we considered cascading water use. The objective is to supply sufficient water to sustain such a system. Okay, so this table shows a rough calculation of the available water, so including supply and use. Okay? For example, natural stream flow, cascading water use, rainwater harvesting, and water reclamation into this system. Okay, briefly, so as shown, so here. So as a result of such a plan, so we say natural stream flow utilization can take about 42% of the total water demand. So anyway, by other means, we can supply additional 58% of water for such an urban water system. Okay? Okay, so my story are mainly this, because afterwards I have a video, okay, to see, to show you, so the system, so more, so with the video effect. So anyway, so these years, by working with IWA in the Cities of the Future program, so we did something. So one was in 2015, I published one paper, one book, water cycle management. So I believed, so that should be a new paradigm of wastewater reuse and safety control. And also, following the workshop, we worked together in Xi'an in 2018. Okay, so we published one book, so with Wang and myself as the as editors. Okay, so the title was Water-Wise Cities and Sustainable Water Systems. Okay, so this book was published in 2021. Okay, so we gave examples of China, UK, and some other areas. Okay, So for my talk, so here I want to give you some concluding remarks. The firstly, so my idea, and also I believe that's the truth, cities are water basin connected. Okay? So no matter in the area with plenty of rainfall or the dry area, the city was connected with water basin. Okay, because I didn't mention, sometimes when I give a lecture to my students, I say our human beings are with wisdom in the beginning. We always choose the area near water, no matter river water, lake water, or groundwater, to build our settlements or cities. So that's the truth. The second, water cycle management, so I believe so that can always be the basic principle for urban water system planning. Okay? And then number three, I mentioned already, so there are two principles. One is to maintain the hydrological cycle as it is. The second is to follow the nature's manner as far as possible and available. And finally, so there are two important rules of water cycle management. So there's water source augmentation and water quality improvement. Okay? And then, so we have a short video. Okay, so actually this video was prepared under the request of IWA. So they published this in the IWA website as one example of cities cities of the future.
Xi'an was the ancient capital city of China, dating back to 1046 BC. Until 1897, Xi'an had been the political center of China for 13 dynasties, where several auspicious events that shapes China's history occurred. The Qing dynasty signified the beginning of the unification of China, whereas the ruins of the Terracotta Army became one of the greatest wonders of the world.
David, you were there,
Yes.
correct?
As far back as the Han Dynasty, the urban area of Xi'an was already over 83 square kilometers, with a population of up to 1 million in its most prosperous times, making Xi'an the greatest ancient city in Chinese history. In the ancient time, Xi'an did not suffer from water shortages, as it does nowadays. There was more than enough water running down the nearby Qingyi Mountains to feed many rivers that flow past the city to form the ancient beauty of 8 rivers surrounding the capital. However, over the years, the combined effects of climate change, hydrogeological variability, rapid industrialization and urbanization, overutilization and improper management of the water resources resulted in the deterioration of the ancient water beauty to a great extent. Consequently, water environmental quality deterioration became a major hindrance to the sustainable development of the city. Therefore, the Xi'an municipal government developed priorities to implement innovative solutions based on integrated urban water planning and management. The so-called 8 Rivers Regeneration Project is a major investment to restore sustainable water management to the city. The project includes the construction of 5 water supply lines, restoration of 7 wetlands, rehabilitation of 10 river channels, and reconstruction of 28 lakes, including a number of waterfront parks designed to imitate Tang Dynasty landscapes known from ancient illustrations. The construction work for this project follows an integrated plan that uses diverse sources of water, nitro precipitation, streams, and reclaimed water to create a quasi-natural urban water cycle that provides both reliable water resources and attractive landscape for leisure activities. The ancient city wall is one of the most famous attractions in Xi'an, built in the Ming Dynasty. The total circumference of the city wall is approximately 13.8 kilometers. The completely preserved city wall and its wide moat form a unique landscape. Furthermore, recent completion of rehabilitation works on the south gate of the city wall create a unique scenery of a magnificent castle surrounded by clean water flows and a green belt. By river dredging, stormwater regulation, point and non-point pollution control, sewage collection and treatment, water diversion and interconnection of different water bodies, all the dirty drainage ditches have been transformed into clean urban streams. Poetic water landscapes are thus provided to the whole city through a large-scale network of streams, city moats, lakes, and ponds. These are gifts from 8 Rivers Regeneration Project to residents. Restoration of aquatic ecology is also an important element of the project. About 11 kilometers east to the city, a national wetland park has been built to provide a suburban leisure site by in-situ restoration of abandoned pits in the river estuary area. Similar restoration have also been implemented in other suburban areas. Together with river channels rehabilitation, flood dikes reinforcement, and lakes or ponds reconstruction, these have gradually made the regeneration project is a critical bottleneck. The Qingling Mountain Range in the south of Xi'an forms the dividing line between the Yellow River and Yangtze River Basin, as well as the city's back garden to provide major source waters for urban water supply. For efficient water use, to meet a project requirement, an integrated water management plan was developed following the principle of water cycle management. Water saving, multifunctional and cascading water use, rainwater harvesting, and water reclamation from the 4 pillars of the integrated water management scheme. Managing all stages of the water cycle provided a means to improve the health of water bodies and associate ecosystems, which underpins the city's livability. For source enlargement, a number of ecological reservoirs have been constructed to maximize surface flow storage. Also, many rubber dams were built on rivers to provide temporary flood storage areas. These measures increased the urban water supply capacity by 178 million cubic meters per year. Moreover, through its multi-stakeholder initiatives, the adoption rate of water-saving technologies has grown exponentially to over 70% to reduce agricultural and domestic water demands considerably. Furthermore, with the expansion and upgrading of urban wastewater treatment facility, the quality of reclaimed water well meets the standard for supplying water to replenish lakes and ponds within the 8 Rivers Regeneration Project scheme. Integrated water management in Xi'an is also combined with water pollution control. The Hanzhou Lake has been rehabilitated from a section of the ancient moat, which for many years was a dirty drainage ditch that received urban sewage discharges and was filled with garbage and withered weeds, breeding mosquitoes and flies, and emitting offensive odors. By open and common channels, fresh surface water and reclaimed water are fed to Hanzhou Lake. As a result of sediment dredging, lake rehabilitation, and water replenishment, the former dirty water has been transformed into a beautiful water landscape in a central urban area. The current status of the 8 Rivers Regeneration Project indicates the following. All river channels have been rehabilitated. Restoration of lakes, ponds, and wetlands has been completed. The water surface area has increased by 448 hectares. The wetland area has been enlarged by 900 hectares. An urban river channel lake wetland network has been formulated in Xi'an. These achievements altogether show a newly rehabilitated ancient city with 8 rivers as its lifelines and 28 lakes and ponds as aquatic nodes, all surrounding the central city and radiating to the suburban areas to display the charm of a water ecological landscape along with the cultural and historical monuments. Water is getting closer and closer to people in Xi'an and adds lush greenness to their daily lives. It is a pleasure to see these beautiful modern water landscapes. With different tastes from southern China, I will come here more frequently. How large is the water surface here? It gives people a new place of pleasure. Xi'an is amazing. I have traveled to many places, but this park is for sure the best one. We get more and more water. These parks improve our lives. The scenery is getting better. I love the waters in Xi'an. The 8 Rivers Regeneration Project has progressed ahead of schedule and already achieved its set goals. The water area in Xi'an has reached 50 square kilometers, which is equivalent to about 1/10 of the current urban area. Therefore, Xi'an is not only featured by its rich historical and cultural remains, but also its new appearance of a water city with virus water elements. A livable city with beautiful water environment, and a more active city with great potential for sustainable development. From the beginning of civilization, human beings have located their homes adjacent to rivers, which have played an important role in sustaining communities of people and other forms of life. Today, the need for water to improve the quality of life and the environment, especially in highly urbanized areas, cannot be overemphasized. The success of the 8 Rivers Regeneration Project demonstrates the intimate connection between the stability of the people of a water-deficient megacity of China, their socio-economic development, and the availability and reliability of water. This realization is achieved through the principle of water cycle management.
Okay, yeah. So that's all my story about my own city. Yeah, because before I came here, I discussed with Guangtao what shall I talk. You know, most of my job is for water and the waste treatment. Okay? Yeah, but because I think, so you are the Center for Water Systems. So maybe to tell a story about water in China, especially in Xi'an, is proper for this seminar. Okay, so that's all for my talk. So I welcome any questions from our audience.
Thank you. So we have about 5 minutes. Any questions?
The presentation you mentioned the connectivity with other services for the water. I wonder in this project, have you considered any renewable energy within the water cycle, like hydropower, because they are well connected? Have you taken that into consideration at all, or you just focus on the water?
Yes. So I have to say, at this moment, at this stage, so we just consider the water, not to use the water energy for power generation. So actually, so we utilized the geographic feature. Okay. Yeah. For example, for water flow, some waterfall. Yeah. So anyway, so that may not be sufficient for energy generation. So therefore, at this stage, we didn't do that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, hi, Professor Wang. I just feel so happy to meet you today because I'm from Xi'an, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes. Me too. I'm also from Xi'an. Yeah. So I just can imagine there's a day in the UK I can hear so much greater frequency of the term Xi'an. So I'm so excited and so touched about your work and your story, and I also hope there's a day in the future I can work with you to build our Xi'an better and better. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much for your words. So that's also my view. Okay, so unfortunately, so in Xi'an, I've already retired. Okay, so anyway, I'm encouraging the younger generation, okay, to do more things. So I haven't reported to David. So my student, Xiaochang, okay, so the guy who helped us for the mutual seminar, now become vice president of the university.
Wow.
So I always say to him, so you should do better than I did. Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, and for example, last year, so the year before, for the assignment of agreement between the Xi'an University and the IWA, Carla was astonished. So when he saw the water beauty of Xi'an. Yeah, really. Yeah, I have to say. So even as a former local person, I was astonished with the achievement. So with the topic of water. Oh, Guangdao, please.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for the talk. So I think there are 3 pilot cities in China, to demonstrate the water-wise principles.
Yeah.
I wonder beyond the 3 cities, how the principles are adopted or implemented in China. So I know the smart cities concept, the project. So I wonder how are they, obviously there are some similarities, but I wonder what are the main differences. So do you think the water-wide city, this principle would be more accepted in China? Another question is related, what is the next step for the IWA, cities of future project? If any, future plans, or it's just stopped?
Okay. Yeah. So of course I did the job for Xi'an. Yeah, because about 20 years ago I was appointed an advisor for the Xi'an municipality. So therefore I joined the discussion of the project, and helped them to organize meetings, even helped them to make the master plan, especially how to utilize the available water resources. So as you know, China is such a country. Nobody